David Snyder. I work with Lutheran Bible translators. We're here on the campus of St. Paul Lutheran High School. So Bible translation, it's complicated, but it's simple. It involves trying to understand what the original message of the Bible was and what the intent of the author was. But it also involves understanding the local language and how to express that message using their idioms and their language and their forms. Ideally, the translators are native speakers of the language, and in many places in the world that's possible. There's a few where it's very difficult. There's actually over 7,000 languages in the world, and of that number, only about 670 have a whole Bible available. But, and there are another, in addition to that 670 some, there's another 1,500 and some languages that have not the whole Bible, but the New Testament. And then there's another 11 or 1,200 or so that would have just a portion of the New Testament, not the whole thing, maybe Luke and Acts. One of our translators was relating a story to me that moved me, and it illustrates to me the power that God's Word has in the local language for people. And so she said they'd been living in Cameroon for years. They had completed the New Testament in this one particular language with the local church and community. And, and it was available to people. And it was available both in print and audio form. And one day she's at her house and she hears a knock on the door, and she opens the door, and there's this guy, and he's dressed in a filthy robe, just dirty, and he just smells because he's got a wound on his leg. It's an open sore. And, she says, "What can I do?" And he says, "I got a sore on my leg. I need some help." And the reason the guy was coming to her is because he had done a lot of not very good things, and he'd really just isolated himself from the community. The community wanted nothing to do with this guy. He'd been involved in sorcery stuff. He was known as a drunk and a thief. And so she said, "Well, sit down and I'll dress your wound." And she put on this audio scriptures while she was taking the time to dress his wound and clean out his wound. Well, his wound was of such a nature that he had to come day after day after day to get his dressings changed. And as he did, every day he would come, he would hear the scriptures in his own language again. And by the time it was done, he said, "Can I get a copy of that, what I'm hearing, the New Testament in my language?" And she said, "Sure." And so she gave him an audio playback unit so that he could listen to the scriptures. And his life just totally transformed. He was able to reintegrate and reconcile with his family and his extended family. He was actually able to leave his brother to the Lord, and just totally transformed life. It's just amazing.